So, Molly, could you list what you've been called too much of for me, please?
Well, too skinny, too fat, too sensitive, too cold, too hard, too woman, too emotional, too silly, too serious, everything. Too much of everything, really.
And can you tell us some anecdotes about when this happened and how it made you feel?
I can remember things like throughout growing up. I think particularly as a young adult, this feeling of being too intense for people is something that's really gotten to me. Made me feel concerned for myself. Made me feel ashamed. Made me feel confused as to why people didn't understand me. And it's just really exhausting because it feels like there's a relentless gaze upon you, saying that you're not quite right, that you're not enough, and it's not true. It's just not true. What you have to say and what you feel is valid, and being able to feel things thoroughly and intensely, it is a great thing, because actually, it's not just about feeling things that make you feel angry or that make you feel upset or worried. It's actually things that bring you joy and happiness and compassion. So it's a great thing to feel intensely, and it is not something that makes you weak. It's something that makes you feel that it actually makes you very strong, because you're able to tap in to a higher truth, in a sense, of your own existence, and within your interpersonal relationships, that other people feeling uncomfortable is their problem. It's something within them that they need to address. You're not the problem. What you think and what you feel is valid, and we should all have the right to express that.
Yeah. Was there a particular moment, like an epiphany moment, when we were like, oh, okay, this is really not about me? Was there like a particular time in your life, or?
I guess I would say, I think when it came down to me actually talking about my own trauma, I think when I've experienced certain things, and when I was sharing that story with some people, when you're sharing something, especially that sensitive, and you're putting that story into someone else's hands, and they can't take it, it can feel really shattering. You're putting yourself out there, you're being so vulnerable and you're being so honest, and it's really hurtful when you choose to open up to that person and you're putting that story in their hands and they let it fall. They say it's too much, this is too intense, and actually, it took me to really look inside myself and think, okay, if they can't take it, that's all right, that's okay, fine. Their uncomfortability is their problem, and if they're not able to fully listen and understand what I have to say, that's okay, and I need to realise not to take it personally. That's been huge, not taking it personally. It's been such a huge thing that I've had to go through. You know, it's been really liberating as well. It's painful, but it's liberating because, you know, I don't take offence to someone not being able to take, you know, what I've had to say. At the end of the day, my story is my story. I'm not defined by things that have happened to me, but they do make up parts of who that I am. And I've come to an acceptance of that, and I've come to an acceptance that not everyone is prepared to take in my story, and that's okay, because as long as I tell my story and I stand in my own truth, however, you know, however people decide to take that, how it makes them feel is their own journey. You know, it's up to them how they decide to receive that, and it's not for me to, you know, belittle myself or question myself and question my story because of someone's response or lack of response to it.
Yeah. And by this liberating thing, has that led you to people that do accept your story, or is it you just sort of freed yourself from all?
It's a total liberation.
Yeah.
I think it's still a process. Mm-hmm. I think that it's allowed me to have a deeper sense of gratitude, actually. It's a deeper sense of gratitude for those already within my life. It's allowed me to connect with them on a deeper level, but within myself, just internally, in the way that I think about them, and the way that I feel, and just this a stronger sense of knowing that I do have people that will listen. I do have people that will accept, you know. But ultimately, again, you know, I accept myself, and that's the main thing. That is the ultimate. That's you know, that's living your best life. Yeah. You know, trying to.
Molly, if you could take all the things you've been called too much of, how are they your power and how they helped you?
My power is that I am emotional. My power is that I am extremely empathetic. I am able to be in touch with myself in a way that allows me to live honestly, that allows me to live with acceptance of myself, and essentially allows me to live freely and happily. So that is my power.
If someone came to you and they were, say, I don't know, 13 or so, and they've been called all the things that you've been called too much of, like too sensitive to everything, like, what would your advice to them be if they said, like, what do I do?
I would say anything horrible. Oh God, I feel a bit emotional. So I'm talking to my young self. Anything horrible that is said to you, or anything horrible that is done to you, it's not your fault. It's their problem entirely, and it is a reflection not of your self-worth. It is a reflection of that person and where they are in their journey. And you are great. And, you know, if it's been, you know, you're too fat, you're too skinny, you're too stupid, you're too smart, you're too loud, you're too quiet, all of those things, you know, irrelevant. Completely irrelevant, you know. You are you, and that is unique because no one is like you. And you're stronger than you know. And just know that all those things that all those people are saying, it doesn't equate to your worth. You know, regardless, you're a human being, you're worthy. You know, don't let comments like that in regards to your weight or your intelligence or your relationship status or, you know, your grades. That's a big thing, especially during that age. You know, your grades, you know, that doesn't equate to you being a person, you know, it doesn't equate to you being worthy. You know, you're worthy already. That's what I would say. Yeah,
Aww.
sorry.
Don't say sorry. That was beautiful.
That was quite cathartic.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
If you could change the world tomorrow, what would you change and why? How did it look to you? What would the world look like?
What would the world look like? I think ultimately, I couldn't put it into like specifics, but I think just in general, I would want people to be more compassionate to themselves and more compassionate to others. That is the change that I would like. And from that, I think everything would just be better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. And is there anything else that you would like to share?
What would I like to share? Don't let the haters get you down.